You're asking this court to award you past medical expenses of $20,000, future medical expenses of $5,000, pain and suffering of $25,000 for a total award of $50,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Brooks, you believe this is, if there ever was a case, that it's his fault, this is the one. He is the author of his own fate, and this is not your fault.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Well, let's get into the legal sauce. How did you come to rent this apartment?
About 6 months ago, I moved into a new apartment. Everything seemed great. It's near where I work. It's near where a park where I love to run, and everything seemed to be going well. That is until a few days after I moved in. Every night, I would wake up itching everywhere. And in the morning, I would have red bumps all over my arms, my chest, my back, everywhere. I mean, I had no idea what was going on.
Now, you're not one of those allergic people, are you?
I didn't think I had any allergies, but that's all that I assumed could be happening. I thought maybe it was old paint.
And this is what your skin looked like?
Yes, I would wake up every morning broken out and these red bumps all over my body. But I wasn't about to move out. I just moved in. So I figured I would toughen it out as long as I could.
Ms. Brooks, this is your building, right?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
How'd you come to get this building?
I take great pride in this. I got this building from my grandparents, so it was handed down to me. I'm a retired veteran, and I've been a manager of this apartment building for 4 years. It's about a 40 to 50 unit complex. I love my tenants. I know them by name. They know me by name. I know their grandchildren. I know people who come in and out of there. So I don't take this lightly. I take pride in what I do because, like I said, this is a top rating thing for me. So when Mr. Foster came to me, I let him fill out the application. I reviewed all of his references and his employment, so I thought that everything would be fine, and I took him in as a tenant. In other words, I took him in as part of our community and our family.
So what happened?
I woke up in the middle of the night like I usually do, but this time it wasn't itching. It felt like my entire body was on fire. Okay?
Okay.
It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
That's your skin?
That is what my skin looked like, and I hop out of bed, I flipped the lights on, and that's when I saw what can only be described as something out of a horror film, because on my bed was literally hundreds and hundreds of baby spiders crawling up and down the bed frame, in and out of my pillow. I looked down at my body, they were on my legs, on my torso. They were eating me alive as I was sleeping.
That's where you got these ulcers from on your skin?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks, I mean, you said you run a clean place. I mean, how does that happen?
Your Honor, like, I stand by my word. I don't know where Mr. Foster is coming up with these ideas of he woke up with this and all this going on, but I stand by what I say. I take great pride, and we've never had any complaints.
I'm not talking about what happened. I tried to drive myself to urgent care. When I got there, the red bumps started to bubble and fizz, and the doctor said that they were ulcerating everywhere.
I'm not talking to you.
Gotta have order in the court.
Yes.
Address me, please.
Yes, Your Honor. As I
to me,
was
Ms.
saying, I go by the laws and the rules and regulations because, once again, I'm a veteran, so I believe in doing things in order and on time and how they should be.
But this happened on your property, though.
Your Honor, he must have brought him with him because let me tell you why. I
might have a dog, I might have a cat, I'm not gonna have spiders.
And it's ironic that I didn't have, it wasn't any kind of complaints. It wasn't any, we check our apartments before a tenant moved in and after a tenant moved in. So there wasn't anything there. The only thing I can come up with, and I want to say once again, I feel for Mr. Foster's pain and his anguish, but that's not my fault, Your Honor. He obviously brought him with him, probably because of his living conditions. He's probably unclean.
But frankly, listen, when I was in law school, I rented an apartment, and that's what my landlord said. Hey, we didn't have roaches. You brought those roaches with you.
Of course she's going to say that everything's fine.
Why
So,
would
Mr.
I
Foster,
be in the top notch of my rating game, sir?
So, Mr. Foster.
Yes?
What did the doctor do for your wounds, these ulcers and bubbles on your skin from the spiders?
I was immediately given emergency treatment for a venomous spider bite. And then in the morning, while the doctor was examining me, a live spider crawled out of my ear. I mean, what the hell did I rent? What have I gotten myself into?
The spider...
No, that is where I draw the line. No spiders in my ear. Ah!
was actually inside your ear and it crawled out?
That's nasty. Nasty.
What did the doctor say to you about that?
The doctor said in her 10 years of being a medical professional, she has never seen a live spider crawl out of an ear.
It's called hygiene.
It's called having a clean apartment complex that doesn't allow spiders to nest in the ear.
Address me. Mr. Foster, you submitted a video that the doctor took at the emergency room. Let's take a peek at it. This is your ear.
This is my ear, and if you look closely, watch.
That's a spider coming out of your ear? Okay, that was a spider coming out of your ear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I see why he sued you. I mean,
Well, Your Honor, let's be clear. If Mr. Spider-Man would keep himself clean, then he probably wouldn't have those.
This has nothing to do with my cleanliness.
Your Honor,
Look at me.
first of all,
right here.
hold on.
Right here.
We're not going to talk all at the same time because I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
But let me go back. You said that if he would keep himself clean, that seems a bit flippant to me. This isn't about dirty ears. That's a spider coming out of somebody's head.
Your Honor, we did receive.
I want you to look carefully at this video.
I
This
saw
is
this,
a
Your
live
Honor,
spider.
and I understand.
I want you to look at it and watch it. Look at that. That's his ear. Oh my God, that's a spider.
Do you know how long I was out of that apartment? I left the apartment in the middle of the night. The doctor didn't examine me until 7 in the morning. That spider was in my body, alive, doing God knows what, for over almost 7 hours.
Ms. Brooks, do you have any idea of how frightening this must have been?
Your Honor, like I said, I know it's frightening, and I feel for Mr. Foster. But here, let me hand this to you. This is our rating, if you may, Your Honor.
Sheriff, if you
I
can
may.
retrieve the document. Now tell me what I'm looking at, Ms. Brooks.
You are looking at a 5-star rating that we received for impeccable cleanliness and keeping up to standards property.
Well, it reads, verified resident, overall score, maintenance rocks. Management always responds super fast and fixes any/all issues I've ever had. Then cleanest apartments I've ever lived in. Spectacular place. I'd recommend to everyone. You got an overall 5-star rating.
Because I want my apartment to be top notch. I take it serious.
Okay, but that rating could be written by her. It says verified resident. Is it verified? We don't know that for sure.
Seriously, as if that's my home.
But you got a spider infestation in your building that is undisputed. This man was eaten alive by the spiders. Mr. Foster, how long did it take them to get that spider out of your ear?
Out of my ear?
Make
Yeah.
up something real quick.
Well, hold on. You think this is a joke?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Well,
but I think
you
Mr.
treat it like
she
it's a
said
joke.
she-
No, Your Honor, I do not. And I don't want it to come across that way. And I feel for Mr.
She
Spider-Man over
runs
here.
a family apartment complex, and she feels for me. She feels for the scars that I might have for
That's
the rest
why I
of my
did the
life.
exterminator.
Look at his arm.
Your Honor,
Those are
I
from the
see
spider
that.
bite.
It's on my shoulder. It is everywhere.
This is not my fault. He's trying to make
How is
something
it not your
for me
fault?
to
You're
pay
the
for.
owner of the apartment complex.
Just me. Ms. Brooks, I want to understand how hundreds of spiders get in his apartment. So this court has consulted a spider expert,
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Natalia Breslauer.
Yes,
Will you
sir.
bring Ms. Breslauer into the courtroom, Sheriff Matt? What does a spider expert do?
I do all sorts of wildlife, so anything that's native here. But today I actually brought with me 2 black widow spiders.
Let me get this right. You brought 2 black widow spiders into my courtroom?
I did, Your Honor.
Sheriff Matt, will you go take a peek at those? Bring them over here so I can see them. I'm really kidding. Leave those spiders over there. Miss Breslauer, what happens when a spider bites you?
Well, specifically with these guys, you're going to have a negative reaction regardless of who you are or your immune system. It's going to be painful. They're very, very rarely lethal, but if you are allergic to their venom or you have a compromised immune system from a previous illness or a previous spider bite, it can become very serious and complicated.
Mr. Foster had these things all over him. How does he get bitten by hundreds of spiders?
In fact, a female spider, she can lay 200 babies in each sac, and she lays 5 sacs at once. So that's 1,000 spiders.
So there are 200 babies in that sack?
Yes.
So what happens with the sack?
They will break through that sac and they will emerge. So again, that's 1,000 spiders in his apartment.
So when they come out of this sack...
That's about 200.
Okay, spiders are real special friends to me. So if there's a sack in Mr. Foster's bed and it breaks, these things are all over him.
Absolutely. And again, it's more likely that there's more than one sac.
Does it present a death threat to have that many spiders on you?
If he is allergic to their venom, which he had a pretty severe reaction, so it's most likely that that's the case, yes, it becomes very serious.
So he could have died.
Yeah. If he didn't seek medical treatment.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
You are
very
released.
welcome.
They came along with his bed, Your Honor, in his furniture, in his stuff. He brought them into our apartment. You read for yourself, and you actually said, Your Honor, he must have been lying on him with his bed, his own bed.
Well, I didn't mean lying like not telling the truth.
No,
I'm
I
talking about
understand
laying
that.
down on the sack.
That's what I'm referring to, sir.
Even with this happening in your building, it's thousands of spiders. He could have been killed, and you just keep saying, we run a clean place, we run a clean place. I agree with you, but these are your spiders.
Your Honor, I don't just keep saying that we run a clean place. I've given you proof, and I
Yes,
also
ma'am.
have a witness. I ran into his girlfriend, and she told me she had some things that she was carrying out of the apartment, and we're going to get the real truth now, what Mr. Foster is not telling you.
Did you bring her to court with you today?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Excuse me.
And she will confirm that I have been honest with you from the time I stepped in here on telling on Mr. Foster. And Mr. Foster's just trying to get money. Because I have gone above and beyond. I'm no slum landlord. I don't run that kind of a show.
So your witness is Miss Jennifer Penny?
Yes, sir.
Sheriff Matt, will you retrieve Miss Penny from the hallway?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we will find out the truth. And we'll see what Mr. Foster have to say about that.
And it will likely set one of y'all free.
Yes, sir.
Come on up, Miss Penny.
What are you doing here?
You know why I'm here.
What's your relationship to the plaintiff?
Robert's my ex-boyfriend.
How long were you all dating?
I'd say about 4 months or so.
What can you tell me about the way Miss Brooks runs this building?
Like I'd heard, a very tight ship. I don't think the blame is at all with her. I think it's all with Robert. As a matter of fact, I know it's all with Robert.
You spent the night there when you and Robert were in a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor. I would spend a lot of my nights over there. I started noticing strange things like the first few times I stayed over, like he always would keep it dark inside of the apartment. Like the blinds were always closed, curtains drawn. And I thought it was because he wanted to hide the fact that he was a slob. Then I started noticing the little tiny creatures. He has a very sick obsession with these creatures.
What do you have specifically to say about how spiders got into his apartment?
He has a habitat of them, Your Honor.
There you go.
Miss Penny, I heard what you say, but how can you prove that he actually was raising spiders in this apartment?
Oh, I submitted a picture, Your Honor, of the habitat that he keeps them in. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a peek at it. Is this what you had in your apartment there?
Your Honor, spiders are very, very good for the home. They eat bugs.
Come on, man.
They eat bugs that spread diseases.
You
They
could
eat
have
fleas.
told me
They
that.
They eat mosquitoes. They eat cockroaches.
Mr. Foster, the law does not allow someone to start a fire and then take credit for putting it out. Here, I'm telling you right now, you have proven that the wrong caused harm. Your wrong caused your harm. I find in your favor.
Your
That's
Honor.
my final verdict. This matter is concluded.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
can I say something,
Thank
please?
you.
Can I say something, please? My enclosure is perfectly safe. These were not my spiders. My spiders would never attack me. Okay, I take good care of them. I feed them.
Mr. Foster, you have woven a web of deceit that now wraps you in your own lies. Get out of my courtroom.
Look at my arms. What are you doing here?
Wow, I did not expect that twist ending. Oh my gosh, could you imagine laying in bed and then, oh, I am shivering just thinking about it. I do not like spiders at all, but could you imagine having hundreds of spiders crawl on you and bite you? That is crazy. Could you imagine having a habitat of them in your place? It's a very clear cut and dry case. I totally agree with the judge on this. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.